When I bought my house, the biggest selling point wasn't the quiet cul-de-sac or the three-car garage. It was the backyard oasis. I'd worked hard, saved for years, and finally had the space to build the custom pool I always dreamed of. Heated, salt water, LED lit, with a waterfall edge and a swim-up bar. It wasn't massive, but it was mine. Private, fenced in, and 100% funded out of my own pocket. But apparently no one told that to Karen, the self-proclaimed enforcer of our neighborhood's HOA. Let me paint the picture. Karen lives 3 houses down, wears a sun hat the size of a satellite dish, and pushes a tiny dog around in a stroller. She thinks the HOA gives her authority equivalent to a federal marshal. From mailboxes being too beige to grass being an inch too long, Karen always has something to say. And now she had her eyes on my pool. It started with a casual stroll. One Saturday morning, I was out back cleaning leaves out of the water when I heard someone rattling my locked side gate. I walked over and peeked through. Sure enough, it was Karen. She gave me that tight-lipped smile and said, "Oh, good, you're home. I told the girls we could come swim today. I brought wine." I blinked. "Excuse me?" She chuckled like it was already settled. "The HOA says community amenities should be shared, and yours is just sitting there. It's wasteful, really. I've already invited the book club." I stared at her, utterly dumbfounded. "Karen, this is a private pool. It's on my property. It's not part of the HOA. It's not communal." She scoffed. "Well, that's not very neighborly. I'm on the board, you know." I shook my head. "Still not your pool. Goodbye, Karen." She stormed off, muttering something about reporting this hostility. The next week, I came home to find a note taped to my front door. "Notice, your backyard pool may be in violation of HOA inclusivity guidelines. Denial of shared community resources will result in further action." I called the HOA president, Mark, a reasonable guy, and read the note to him. He sighed audibly. "Please ignore Karen," he said. "We've told her a dozen times. Private amenities are private. We're drafting an official reminder." End of story, right? Wrong. The next Saturday around 2 p.m., I was floating peacefully in the pool with headphones on, eyes closed. Suddenly, I heard shouting. I looked up. Karen, sun hat, sunglasses, floral caftan, was in my backyard, phone in one hand, plastic wine glass in the other, yelling, "This is an illegal denial of community access." She had climbed the fence. I jumped out, grabbed a towel, and told her, "Get out. Now." She pointed her phone at me like it was a badge. "I've already called 911. You can explain to the police why you're discriminating against HOA members." I laughed. "You called the cops on me for not letting you swim in my private pool?" "They're on their way," she shouted, arms crossed triumphantly. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, a cruiser pulled up. I met the officer out front. He looked amused. "Got a call about a neighborhood dispute involving pool access?" I explained the whole thing. Then I pointed to my deed taped on the wall inside, clearly showing the pool was on my private property. Karen, still wrapped in her floral caftan, barged into the conversation. "He's hoarding water resources," she shrieked. "This is a drought-prone zone." The officer turned to her, deadpan. "Ma'am, you're trespassing." "You climbed his fence. You ignored a direct order to leave." Karen sputtered. "But I'm on the board." That's when Mark, the HOA president, drove by. I waved him down. He stepped out of his car, took one look, and said, "Karen, what in the world are you doing in his backyard?" She replied, "I'm making sure neighborhood standards are upheld." Mark sighed and turned to the officer. "We've warned her about this before. She doesn't represent the board." The officer nodded. "Then I'll need to issue a trespassing citation." Karen's eyes widened. "You're going to arrest me? I'm the victim here." "No, ma'am," he said. "You called 911 and admitted to jumping a fence to enter someone's private property. That's not how neighborhood complaints work." She was given a formal citation, fined, and escorted off my property. I didn't press full charges. I just wanted her gone. Later that evening, I got an apology email from the HOA, and the next week, they formally removed Karen from the board for violating community conduct policies. I still enjoy my pool in peace, and now I've installed a motion-triggered sprinkler near the fence, just in case Karen tries again.